Greetings, tribe. I'm Kewa, your latest apostle, and beyond that, I'm your favorite book coach. All right, so today I want to talk about books and the essence of books. All right, so I turned my Bible and I flipped it to Luke, and the Bible was talking about an account of Luke, and he was talking about the fact that he wanted to make sure he presented an account of what had happened, what Jesus began to teach and to do. Okay, and then he wanted an orderly arrangement of that particular thing. So a lot of believers find it difficult to grasp a lot of things, and that's because they're not aligning themselves according to how things should be. So Luke just took it upon himself and he said, I want to write an orderly book to show people the certainty of some things, and of course it's just like, okay, there's a manual for everything that we create in life. So Luke was saying, please, I want to give an orderly arrangement. I want it to be like a step-by-step stuff of what had transpired from the time when he was with Jesus to the time when Jesus talked about prophecies and all of that. A lot of times when we start to write, I'm a writer, I've been a writer for a while. I have more than 50 books that I've written, and I'm super excited about that. And I know that God is up to something. I believe that. Okay, so today I want this video not to be about the fact that I've accomplished that much, but to maybe encourage one person to start their writing journey. When we write, what we want to do is to have an orderly thing that we can place in the hands of people. So this is the latest book I've worked on for a client, and for me this is the best job I've done. And how did I make this work? First things first, we must realize that writing is a call. Writing is not something that falls on you, as a result of the fact that you have read a lot of books. No, I'll talk about me personally. My writing is a gift. So at some point, I just started to get revelations on the things that I was supposed to do on earth. I wasn't supposed to start a church, but this is what I saw in the vision that God had shown me. I saw that I was going to take books and then distribute books. Then I was looking for my bearing in the Bible. I said, God, where is this thing in the Bible? And God flipped and showed me Esther. Esther was in a royal position. Being in a royal position is fantastic, but in that royal position, there's a part that centers around you publishing and distributing stuff to preserve the next generation. Esther, her role was to make sure that she saved lives. How did she do it? She didn't have a sword. She did not have a sword. I'm trying to get my pen now. What she had was a pen. What she had was probably a note. In that time, it was called a scroll. So sometimes what we really need as queens is not fights. The people of the world say the pen is mightier than the sword. Some of you are into ministry and you've been preaching and going up and down, going to all the continents of the world. But God is saying, have you written the things I told you to write? Some people are never going to attend your meetings. I'm telling you, they would never attend your meetings. Some people are never, ever going to meet you one-on-one. But when you take it upon yourself, like Esther, you rewrite what has been written. There's no limit to what God will do for you. There's actually no limit to what God will do with you. When you take it upon yourself to fight with your pen, the pen will always be mightier than the sword. So, in this journey of you as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, if you noticed, my messages, my sermons are really not for people that don't know Jesus. They're for people that know Jesus. God has sent me to the lost sheep of Israel. So as it were, God has sent me to believers. So my focus is basically on believers. So, this is what I want you to know. You cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Knowledge is the new gold. Some people are going to sit back in their houses and read the books that you've written, but they are not going to attend your meeting, and they're not going to meet you one-on-one. So this brings me to my topic for this series. So this series I'll be talking about published assets as a tool for kingdom advancement. What are published assets? Published assets are basically things that have information that we put out there. You know, when you say you publish something, it means that you've put it out there and then people can have access to it. So this is a published book. There was a time this book was in someone's head. Okay, so it was in Beauty's head, and then I as her book coach, as her ghostwriter, I played a lot of roles. I didn't even know, which one. I just kept switching roles from ghostwriter to book coach, to everything in between. And the point I'm trying to make is that there was a time that this book was just in her head. It was a thought, it was an idea. So how was I able to help her to get this idea to a book? That is what publishing is. Publishing means that this book is now accessible to a lot of people. Now, this is the hard copy. Anybody can access it, but there are also copies that you can access, and then that's the ebook. Now, books are not the only published assets, okay? So they're messages, the things that we say, like what I'm saying now is actually a published asset. So by the time I hit the send, or the next, or whatever it is that makes this video come out, what happens is that I've published it so the world can access it. Our music, even the things that we keep hidden, our poetry, even other things like invaluables, like intangibles, things you can't really touch. Sometimes those things can be published assets. You can't touch music, but you can hear it and you can feel it. You can't touch emotions. You can't even the book. Sometimes the things that we're trying to convey, we can't feel them physically. So published assets are anything that you put out there that is worth something. Now, there are some things, basically, I would like to say that published assets are basically contents that we put out there, okay? So, there are things that are not supposed to be put out. A lot of things are not supposed to be put out there. That's why if you notice, there's some times when we're in church and they say, take the cameras, cuts. There are a lot of things that are not supposed to be put out there. But I think that we live in a generation where people don't even know that some things shouldn't be put out. So what are healthy contents that we can put out? That's basically what I want to focus on. It's not everything you should do. It's not every trend you should follow as a believer. Some trends are not supposed to be for you. Okay, so basically basically, assets can be used as a tool for kingdom advancement. We have tried a lot of things. A lot of people have done whatever they need to do. But I, for one, my published assets are going to be in the things I say and the books that I write. It's a tool to advance the kingdom. You're looking for how to win souls. Why don't you write a book? Put it on Amazon. You don't know which soul you'll be saving as a result of the information that you put in that book. Gone are the days where we just allow things to chance. Some people are utilizing, the tools that are available for us in this generation. But what are we doing as believers? We're sitting back, we're sitting pretty, we're staying in the confines of our church. We don't come on Facebook, we don't do TikTok because we're too holy for Facebook and TikTok. We're too holy for Instagram. And the people of the world are using it to their advantage. Lest I make a very long video, I want to let you know that God is up to something in these last days. And one of the greatest things that He wants to use is our published assets. But we must understand that there are certain things that would go out and certain things that wouldn't go out. On my next video in this series, I would give us a breakdown of how we can start our ministry online and how we can take it to the ends of the earth without leaving the comfort of our rooms. Jesus said, preach. I'm doing my bits. Are you doing your bits? That'll be all for now. I remain your latest apostle and your favorite book coach. Yeah. See you on my next video.